find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nurburgring in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the out pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Hello everybody and welcome to the Tail Racing Ring Runners here for the final round. We have got our Duck Week, we've got our car selected. It's the Formula V for this time round. That makes me glad I'm not driving it, to be honest, because it's horrible to drive. I certainly think so anyway. Let's hope that we get some good racing, though, with myself, Ewan Leary, and James Parfitt alongside me again for this final round of the season. Not a quick car, James, is the way to describe this Formula V quickly. Let's have a look at the starting grid, though, before we get into that. Rick Putnam has set the fastest lap in qualifying by some distance, ahead of Corey Stas, who's looking to rip the championship away from Evan Crowd here on the final day. Dan Kosick is alongside AJ Condon on row 2, and then you've got all of those who didn't set a time in qualifying. Dean Dukes and Evan Crowd first, followed by Dave Hernandez and Thomas Clausen. Tim Warchow is in ninth ahead of David Mull, with Patrick Mace and Jason Hightower rounding out the top 12. Scott Sadler is 13th ahead of Alexander Betach and Benjamin Lamberton rounding out the 15 cars. There they all are. They look very small on the back straight, I've got to say. That's because they are very small, as it turns out. And we have 5 laps here for an extra special ending to the season, so we look forward to that. But yeah, not a quick car, James. Hopefully a good car for racing, though. I'm hoping that the fact that they are slow means that slipstream will be more of a factor and the field will stay very close together.
Yeah, they're not. Let's just put it this way: they're not breaking the 100-mile-an-hour mark. All right, let's just go with that one for a minute. I think the interesting thing will be seeing how the draft works, whether or not there's going to be a lot of draft. Also on that, and to see what kind of speeds they do get up to here along the Dotting Hoe if they are drafting each other. Gearing, well, I can guarantee they're probably not going to use second or first. I probably suggest that most of them will be in third and fourth, and that's going to be the only one that they will have to, the only gears they're going to have to use.
Yeah, the first 2 gears, for whatever reason, shifting down into them is just horrible. I don't know why. It just sends you completely into a spin immediately, for whatever reason. Anyway, they'll probably keep it into third gear because, as you say, it's actually a very fast circuit for these cars, and so they shouldn't really need to grab the first 2 gears anyway. And you can see immediately Rick Putnam puts it up into third, ready to get going. You won't be surprised to learn this is the shortest layout of the North Side for possible. Not short by any means, but it is the shortest because it is such a long lap, and still 9 minutes for these cars around each lap. Let's see how they race, though. That's the most important thing, as the Tail Racing Ring Runners get set for the final race of the season. Out of the final corner they go. You can barely tell that they've hit the throttle for the green flag because they're so slow. In towards turn number 1 they go. Rick Putnam takes his pole position into an early lead, followed by Corey Stas. AJ Condon slots into third place. Evan Kratwell gets up into fourth as Dan Kosick loses a couple of positions early on. Clausen and Dilch going side by side down the opening section here into the Hatzenbach for the very first time, as they all try and get sorted out in the opening lap of this race.
Yeah, they've all got off well, which is great, which is what we didn't see in the Super Formula Lights, right? Let's not forget there was a little bit of carnage right at the beginning, and there was somebody doing a couple of flips, but we managed to get off. Okay, they're still a little bit side by side, a little bit worried. They will filter out at some point. We're going to start seeing what the draft's going to be able to do now on the run down into Arenberg, and we'll see how strong it actually is and what sort of speed that Corey Stas is going to be getting here.
Yep, there he is. There's the view of him on board as he closes in. Yeah, the draft's so powerful. Kratwell is really already very close to AJ Condon as well. They'll both be caning on these two. Oh, goodness, that was close. As he just pulls out to the right-hand side and side by side for the lead as well, with Corey Strass trying to go through. But look at the slipstream for AJ Condon now. Where's he going to go? Because there isn't very much space here at all. There's the view from Rick Putnam. What about Condon here? Where is he going to go? He can't go anywhere, and so he just has to stay on the inside to defend from Kratwell, who's going to have the triple slipstream now on the way in towards Arenberg. Absolutely flat out round the left-hander. There's no need to brake until you get here, down into Arenberg itself. Side by side for the lead. It looks like Putnam's going to hang on just about, but there's a first indication that the slipstream is very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to provide massive. They're 3 wide further back, mind you. They managed to go around Arenberg 3 wide, which was quite impressive here. And this is Dave Hernandez with Alexander Betash in there. Scott Sadler and Dave Mole are all in this little bit of a group as well. Although these cars aren't quick, but don't you think they're great to watch? Look at them. Look, hurling around, absolutely going for it. And I think it's absolutely amazing that these little cars, although, you know, not barely topping north of 100 miles an hour, are hurtling around this 154-cornered circuit, but they're doing a great job. And so far, so good. Everybody's clean.
Yep, they are. Side by side again for third as Crutwell tries to get through on AJ Condon. I think that's going to be possible for Crutwell here on the outside, and so he just has to tuck into line again and hope that Condon can stay with the front two, because it is going to be all about the draft here in this race. There are so many straights for these cars on the circuit. It makes draft even more important because they are so slow. So many lockups as well happening on the brakes for whatever reason. A lot of smoke I saw at the start of the race, especially happening again now we're getting into the race too, through the chicane before miss hit miss now on board with Crutwell. It's the long way round at just before Besyphon, which is this braking zone here, and now Crutwell does get through. I think that position of being behind Condon was always going to eventually run out. His gas goes off. He needed to have a good race. He needed to win this race if he wanted the unlikely situation of taking the championship away from Evan Crutwell, and that spin certainly won't help.
No, definitely not. He lost it going down the hill as well. Now we've got Jason Hightower on the left-hand side, and that's Dave Hernandez on the inside. Dean Diltz has had a problem. He's sitting again in the barrier. There's somebody else down there as well. I wonder... Oh, he's upside down.
Oh, no.
Clawson.
We've got one on the roof, and that's second week in a row we've got someone on the roof, which is must be a record, 2 weeks in a row.
We'll have a look back at that at the end, of course. But yeah, somebody on the roof. You know what's coming out of that, though, don't you?
Yeah, I bet there was wheel-to-wheel contact and anyway. So the battle for second place is the one that now closest, as Condon and Crutwell get close again, but all this has allowed Rick Putnam to get a bit of a lead here. I wonder how these two can go about catching him. Well, running side by side probably won't help, but they'll really care right now. Down the straight they'll go. And it is a very, very long slog up the hill as well. Stuck in fourth gear, barely touching 90 miles an hour because it's uphill. It looks like these cars are almost going to run out of steam to get up the hill entirely. That's how slow they are.
Yes, you're not wrong. You can hear it now. It's just like... It's really hard to try. Slot in behind, mate. Use the draft. The problem is when he pulls out from the draft, he literally has nowhere to go. It's almost like he hits a wall of air and he doesn't actually go anywhere, unfortunately, for AJ Condon. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to handle the dot and a hoe here on the way through. Oh, it looks like... Whoa!
Oh, no. What's gone on here? Betash and Hernandez are both in the wall and both facing the wrong way, and Betash goes back to the pit lane. Hernandez is going to have a very painful three-point turn here, and he will be last of those two who have not pitted. That was through the muck curve, and it shows that even though these cars are slow and they are small, it doesn't mean that that corner is any easier to go side by side through.
No, definitely not. They look like I can probably... We're looking at a lot of wheel-to-wheel contact here. I think that's probably what we're going to go back and have a look at and see once the race is done here. It's going to be a very long one, but we'll be okay. We will sit here and we will muster through as these guys continue to fight. You see the smoke coming out the back. Now, that's not necessarily them locking up. It's them changing gear, believe it or not. When you go down from fourth to third, you do get a lovely puff of smoke out the back of these Formula Vs, and you'll see it again with Evan Crutwell. He's sitting in fourth at the moment, and then all of a sudden, when he does have to change down into third, you'll see another puff of smoke coming out the back. So the smoke coming out is literally them having to change down gears. Not that he should have to do that very often around here, but when he does, you will see the puff of smoke come out the back.
It's very healthy. That's just how you have to deal with it, I suppose. Here's Corey Stas. After making that spin at Besyphon, he's already back to seventh again. Just behind Jason Hightower, who was right up there at the start of the season. Had a great start. In the first 3 weeks first 4 weeks, he was on the podium twice and in the top 5 3 times. Only not achieving that on the day he wasn't here, but that he's missed 3 rounds, and some of his appearances have been which is a bit lower than the likes of Evan Crutwell. Has meant that he is third place in the championship now, just 6 points separated from Corey Stas, and at one stage he would have been overtaking him in the championship after Stas's spin. However, He's made his way back up the field again. These two fighting for second in the championship effectively. And it looks like Stas is going to hold on to that. But this battle will continue. Stas has to hold back through this Stefan Belafes. Looks for a way up the inside. Hightower's going to give the inside to him. And I think Stas is going to... no, well, I thought he was going to go through. He's not actually going to. And he will have to wait for the dotting her. And then we'll see just how fast he'll be going on that straight.
Yeah, you can see the puff of smoke as he goes down into third. Oh, steady. Hightower, Stas there. Stas has gone through. Hightower made a mistake. And Corey Stas has gone through. Can he hold on, as you say, going down the Dottingham? And what sort of draft are we going to see? That's going to be the interesting thing, to see just how fast he's going to get in the draft. Coming up through Galgenkopf now, the right-hander. You can see just literally full flat, no worries here. But this is where it's going to matter. This is where we're going to see what these cars are going to be able to do here. And I think for Hightower, it's just going to be literally flat go and hope for the best.
It is. What speed are we going to get to, though, for Hightower? Oh, I saw 100. Oh, we've got 100 miles an hour. Would you believe it? It's not going to last very long because we're about to go uphill. They're going side by side as well. Now, is Kosick close enough to gain a slipstream from both of them? If he is, he'll sail past them both, I would have thought. And he certainly is in the slipstream range now. So Hightower pulls alongside Stas, but actually he's going backwards now. And he's going to have to pull back into slipstream, back into line. And here goes Kosick. I think he's going to run out of straight to get there, is he? Oh, maybe not. There's the bridge, and Dan Kosick might well take them both as Wucho and Molt go side by side. They're absolutely locked together, but where's Kosick? Has he gone through on both of them just yet? He fires down the outside. Look at that. The speed on the outside is phenomenal, and it looks like he might well have sixth place here if he can just hold on into the Tirgon. It's certainly a less committed section of corners with this type of speed, that's for sure. Into the braking zone, and Kosick does get those 2 places. The double slipstream for him, getting him up to 6th place.
Yeah, everybody else struggling to get to 100 miles an hour. And there was Dan Kosick. I think he topped out at 102, I think, going down there at one point. And, well, it was a very interesting run, a very long run down the Dottingham there. But they managed to make it through. Kosick now in front of Corey Stas and Hightower. But for how long? That's going to be the interesting one. AJ Condon and Dave Mull, they were alongside. They swapped places, believe it or not, 4 times going down that Dottingham there. And Dave Mull was still out in front of Tim Watcho. So, yeah, nice little battle developing for 4th and 5th. And then we've got the 6th, 7th and 8th fight going on here as well. But, yeah, we'll see how this one materialises. Lap 2. Let's see what goes on.
It's not really changing positions, though, is it? It's just someone getting their nose ahead of the other, really. So, not sure if it really counts, but there we go. Into Flugplatz they go. As side by side, just up ahead of them. Who's that? That's a lap car, I think.
Yeah, that's a back marker. Is that Betash? No, not Betash. Dean Diltz?
Mace, then.
Oh, Mesach. Yeah. Patrick Missick.
Patrick Mace. So, looks like most of them actually are making their way back up on the circuit again. There's a puff of smoke. These cars must be so unhealthy, puffing smoke out every time they change gear. Anyway, yeah, that's where we are in the race at the moment. It seems that Dean Diltz was able to make a pit stop and sort of stay with the leaders, if you like, stay on the lead lap. Betash, Clausen, Sadler, Hernandez and Mej all have dropped a lap down as a result of their pit stop. Well, I say Patrick Mej,
didn't it?
I suppose, but I didn't. I saw Dean Diltz still at his toe, I thought, as well, and he's still on the lead lap. Anyway, side by side with Crockrod and Putnam, this is the battle for the race lead as the championship leader looks to seal his title with one last win. Putnam, though, is not going to give it up easily. Qualified on pole, and he held on quite well there into Adnar Forest.
Yeah, he did, and I think for Putnam, he's just got to basically sit where he is and allow Krautfeld to come and have a go. We've seen it that really in conjunction that when they pull out, they don't really go anywhere, you know. So although the draft normally as you pull out, you should just keep going. With these cars, you pull out and you kind of stop a little bit, as we saw going down the Dottingham. So maybe the places have got to actually be made within the Nords. They can't wait for the Dottingham, because if they take it too early, the guy behind, well, one, he'll just slot back in and probably get them again before. Let's be real about it. You know, you've got 1,700 metres of roads, of circuit that they've got to contend with down the Dottingham. So maybe it needs to be done in the kind of the track itself, because then that will allow you, if you are faster, to pull away from the people behind.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. It does feel a little bit like there is almost no way of passing on the straights because there is no speed left in this car. It feels like they're almost going at terminal velocity on their own, and if they're getting a slipstream, it doesn't really help because they're already going as fast as these cars can take anyway. So yeah, I see what you mean. In the corners might be the way to go, but that's easier said than done as well. Any slight bit of contact in these cars and you will go cartwheeling like we saw Dean Dutz last week in the Super Formula Lights. It's a very similar thing, albeit at a much slower speed, I would have thought. There'll be similar cartwheeling through the air. In towards Bergwerk they go now. Normally, I'd say this is a very crucial corner for the long run towards the Mutkirva, but actually doesn't really matter because Krautwald is going to be saved by the slipstream regardless. He'll pull alongside probably, and then they'll just get stuck.
Yes, that'll be about it. It's the same for Dave Moe and AJ Cotton, as you can see. They're alongside each other.
Although,
stay away from the wheel locking. Moe and Condon now. Moe again has got the position, but for how much longer, as they're going to be going uphill very shortly?
yeah, although these two have got side by side a lot earlier, which I'm not really sure how it's going to play out. Krautwald has got a great run this time, though. I said they were going to get stuck side by side, but no! The championship leader gets through. Well, we don't see that very often on the straight. It feels like you just get locked side by side, but not this time. Putnam has to tuck in. You can see Mull and Condon certainly have gotten locked side by side and gotten stuck on the way towards the Mutkirva. I think this, though, is how Clausen and... not Clausen, excuse me. I think it was Sadler and Hernandez. Was it Betash and Hernandez? I can't remember. But that's
Betash,
exactly how they ended up in the wall on the exit of the Mutkirva wall nap ago. But these guys have managed to keep it a bit cleaner. Condon's got a bit of speed on the outside line now through the next corner. And Warchow is just looking which way to go.
Yeah, they're going to swap. Again, they've been at it all the way up that straight. It's about 4 or 5 times since they've swapped places. And, you know, they've been in and... maybe stay away from each other. If you're going to run double file up through Carousel, you're going to not want to be doing that. Condon's on the outside. All day.
Wow.
All day.
You knew that was going to happen, and it would have been probably better for the car on the outside to just tuck in and take the carousel normally, but neither of them wanted to give up that place. And as long as Mull stays in the slipstream, then he should be okay. He needs a good next section here through these sweeping corners at the end of the lap.
Yeah, you definitely do. Something must have happened to Hightower here. He's dropped to 1.6 seconds back behind Dan Kosick and Corey Stas. So we'll see if there was a problem with him at any point as these guys continue to go. But it is all the way through. We've got this 1, 2, then we've got 3, 4, 5, and then 6 and 7. So we're trying to keep an eye on all of them. But we'll keep an eye on the leaders for a minute.
Yep, through the last end section they go. Feels like these two are quite well matched, but they are head and shoulders above the rest of the field. 11 seconds clear to third place. Condon, who is one of only 4 drivers to set a lap time in qualifying, along with Rick Putnam as well, who took the pole position. There's the smoke as Krautwald just shifts down into third for the next left-hander, just after Brunchen. And then, called the ice curve, as it is. Then into Flansgården, where normally the cars would get air and get a jump. Well, you can be sure that these cars are certainly not going fast enough for any of that. Then over the top of the hill and then back down again through the Stefan Beloff Estes. Putnam is going to benefit from the slipstream, and the two leaders stay together. And my mind now is starting to look forward and think about the end of the race, because how on earth are they going to resolve this on the final lap if indeed this is the situation?
Oh, they're going to be going side by side. Putnam has got through on Krautfeld there. I don't know if that's such a sensible idea, but we've got AJ Condon, Watcho and Dave Mole all within touching distance, should we say, of each other. I'd be interested to see what Krautfeld... I don't know if Krautfeld's looking for the draft down the dyno, but as we've seen, it's not really greatly affected. Or effective, should we say, as we'll bring up how far, where he's topping north of 90 at the moment. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the aim is here. He's going to pull out and then they're just going to kind of go for it.
That was close. He wanted to drink in every little bit of slipstream there before pulling out to the right-hand side. As through he's going to go. Putnam is not going to stand a chance there in that case. And he will tuck into second position, but he'll have the chance to come back again. Corey Stas has rejoined the group for third, by the way. And he's flying through the group further backwards. Look at that. And it's all going on here. Kosick will hope he's got the slipstream, but he hasn't quite. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Are we going to go for third, excuse me. Are we going to go 4 wide with Mull? Not sure where to go. No, Warchow has to tuck back into AJ Condon, who's on the right-hand side. Stas is on the left, but now he's in the middle as Mull goes to the outside. Will Warchow make it 3 wide, 4 wide even? No, not. Go on, just do it. Make it 4 wide. He's not going to, though. Under the bridge, it's going to be just 3 wide as he waits to see what on earth's going to happen here, because they are going to have to single file out by the Tiergarten as Putnam and Krautwald go side by side into the braking zone as well. It's all going on here towards the end of the lap, the end of lap 2 of 5 in this race. And who is going to lead the end of lap 2? I asked myself. I think it's going to be Rick Putnam just about. As the smoke comes out from everybody, they get on the brakes, and Corey Stas gets into the lead of the group. What a great battle that was.
Yeah, you egging him on to go 4 wide. You just wanted to see it, didn't
Why
you?
not?
Why not? Let's go for it. That would have been funny if we had seen 4 wide, mind you. Probably would have been the first time we've been able to get cars 4 wide here at the Nordschleifer as well. So that would have been amazing to see. But let's quickly jump back up front. Yes, Putnam did manage to retain the lead over Evan Krautfield, and will continue to do that until that run down into Arenberg, of course, and then they will go at it once again. The same here, Corey Stas, AJ Condon, Wacho, Mull. Now Kosick is flirting on the edge of the draft. He's almost there, but not quite there for Dan Kosick, so he's going to have to try and get him on the run down to Arenberg and see if he can keep in contact with them. But this is, again, the same situation that we've been looking at over and over and over for the last 2 laps, and we're going to see it probably for the next 2 as well.
Probably. That's why I'm wondering really whether and how they're going to resolve this at the end of the race, to be honest, because for now I don't really see a resolution between these two as they go side by side again. Putnam lost the lead into Flugplatz, and now he's going to regain it on the way towards Arenberg. Schradenkreuz first, of course, and then Arenberg itself on the brakes. Oh no, he's going to have to do it on the brakes here. It's going to have to be side by side into the corner. Steady. They just got a bit closer for a moment there. Round the outside goes Krautwald, and actually he's going to hold on to the place, is he? As this battle for third continues on. Dan Kosick is going to be loving this because he's closing in on all of them. And down the inside of Corey Stas goes AJ Condon. Oh, steady! Oh, that was close. You've got to be so careful of contact in these cars. But Corey Stas knew exactly how much room to give Condon, and it wasn't any more than a Formula V width. That was quite remarkable. Down the hill they go side by side through the Fuchsrohr now, and then in towards the Adnar Force. Dan Kosick is here as well. A fight for the battle for third place.
Yeah, now they're going to get it done. You can see the puff of smoke coming out 2v2 with Kosick in the back sitting there thinking, I've got nowhere to go. And these guys are going to continue to fight on. This is a great little battle. The fact that they've not made contact. AJ there.
Oh, he's all over the place. AJ Condon's up every curb and all sorts. We say all the time around this circuit, you don't really want to hit the curbs, but Condon was making it his mission to hit all of them there. As Krautwald has gone off, has he? No, he has. Krautwald has gone off. He's had a spin. Wow. So just as we were watching that battle for third place, just after Mextersfeld, I think through this corner here, Krautwald has gone for a spin, and Rick Putnam now in the lead by a long way.
Yeah, we'll have a look and back at that. Ooh, AJ Condon using the curves again. And Tim Wacho taking very much evasive action there. But unfortunately, well, say fortunate enough for him, he managed to survive. But this is going to be a battle of the ages, because although Corey Stas has opened up that 8 turns, coming in shortly on the straights, he's going to just get dragged back in. So he will end up these cars all back together as AJ is just literally using every curve possible. He's defying the physics here at this moment in time, because normally when cars use the curbs as much as he is, they're normally off in the wall somewhere. So look, he's there again. Up he goes, and he's on once more. So AJ literally defying anything that we've said about Nords before.
Yeah, absolutely, which is quite good to see, to be honest. Corey Stas now has got a second over Condon. I wonder whether they'll stay at least single file for a little bit so they can drag Stas back into this, or whether they are just going to let him go and battle between themselves for fourth position. But this has been by far the most interesting battle in the race. Oh, went off! Very nearly off into the wall from Warcho. That is to kill him on the way up the hill here. If he can grab the slipstream, he'll be thankful. But if not, then he's toast. And I think he's just about got there in time. Oh, there's the smoke everywhere from Mull. He must have missed a shift or something, because, although I don't really see how that's possible in these cars, but there he goes. He's still in third. Maybe he shifted down when he should have shifted up. I've got no idea, but he's out the back of the group now as well. This group is splitting apart all of a sudden with a couple of mistakes through Bergberg.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Mo, he's going to have to rely on these guys fighting. You can see the time he's losing. He's going up so quick. 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. He's got nobody to drag him along and give him a little bit of a oomph there. So he's going to have to try and rely 2.3. Look how much, you can see the difference between that little bit of draft to not having any, as Tim Watcho and Dan Kosick go side by side now. Are they going to be able to make this work? Watcho should, I would have thought, go through. He's going to have the inside into the right-hander before they go into Clan's Carousel. The same with AJ and Corey. And AJ does manage to get through. Corey Stas has been dragged back into this fight, which is what we said would happen. For Dave Moe, he's either going to have a very lonely run now, or he's got to hold up, wait for these guys to battle a bit to try and make sure that he can at least try and get back onto the back.
He's going to need a lot of fighting, I think, for them to be brought back to him. As Stas has been overtaken by AJ Condon, he very much is still or now going to be involved in this group all over again, which I think is fantastic for us, because what a battle we were seeing a lap ago. We'll see it again here. I wonder whether we can get 4 wide this time. I'm certainly hoping so. But anyway, we'll see if we get there. More smoke at Horak, the highest point on the North Cypher. And now it's the descent towards the Grand Prix circuit as it is, although we'll be turning right before we get there. Through the bobsleigh section towards the end, if you like. It's twists and turns. Left and right, the sweepers. And then in towards the Duttingher, the final straight. And then that's where the action is all going to be. This is the only battle on the circuit, by the way, really, now that Evan Kruppard has spun on this lap and lost that position to Rick Putnam. He's got 7 seconds to make up, 8 seconds nearly, in just the space of 2 laps. So it's not impossible that he can get there by the end of the race. However, it's not looking likely.
No, it's not, unfortunately, on that one. You see Dave Mole just leaking time out the back. It's 2.8 seconds now for Mole, as these guys are going side by side as they're coming through up into the running into Galgenkopf here. Are they going to be able to make this one work? I would love to see them go forward down the Dottingham, but if they're ever going to be brave enough, that would be the moment, right? You know, put one right over to the left, one right over to the right, and let's see the 2 in the middle, because I think that would be absolutely amazing. But whether or not we're actually going to see that, and who's going to be brave enough to try it first?
Now, let's see. I think it might be reserved for the last lap, to be honest, but let's stop thinking about this logically and just start thinking about how we can get four cars abreast on the Dottingham. That'd be quite good as we go through the all-important final corners before it now. Oh, Stas having to defend into the Clyde's Carousel here, or is he attacking? Not sure. That was all very close. As AJ Condon still leads the group. Warcho very close behind now, and Kosick just laying off the back of all of them to try and get a run onto this final straight of the circuit. Mull is closing in, by the way, 2.4 seconds, but he is going to have to wait another lap before he is involved again, if he does get involved again. Condon already has Stas alongside him. Warcho in the slipstream of both of them. He doesn't really know where to go here, and so Kosick will be the one who goes through on the outside line. There he goes, right the way to the right-hand side. Are we going to get 4 wide? Not quite, because Warcho goes straight into the slipstream of Kosick. Now he's going to go to the middle, and we do have 4 wide on the back straight.
Awesome. Oh, we had it for a brief moment, but hey, that was absolutely awesome. All 4 lines on a dotting a hoe with a car in. That's a photo opportunity if I've ever seen one there before.
Oh, God, contact.
Oh,
dearie
dear
me.
me.
It's close. Oh, we're 4 wide again here. And they're probably best they don't after that. That was really, really heads up from everybody and very close to disaster for everybody as well. Condon's gone from 3rd to 6th here, and they're still 3 wide for 3rd. Stas is trying to get back into that 3rd position so he can try and run away again, but he's only going to lose places here. It looks like Kosick has gone ahead of him. So Warchow and Kosick have gone from 3rd and 4th in the group to 1st and 2nd. Stas has gone from 2nd to 3rd. Condon's gone from 1st to 4th in the group.
Yeah, but I don't think if we're going to rely on the fact it might be done, Krautfeld's gone into the pits, so clearly he had damage from that spin. He's managed to get the car back to the pits there as well. But hey, the 4 wide took shape, and we did see it coming down at the dotting a hoe there as well. Albeit briefly, but it was there, and that was enough for us. We're happy up here in the booth. Let's see if we can see that one again. Normally this would be the final lap, but we are aware there's going to be one more. So yeah, he's set for the 45 minutes, but yeah, not 4 laps, so we are going to see one more lap out of these guys after this. It gives us 2 more opportunities to see the 4 wide.
Although I don't think it's going to happen again. AJ Condon's, for whatever reason, losing a lot of time here on the Hatzenbach after that, so he's going to have to take some time back again. Jason Hightower and Benjamin Lamberton both in as well here, so makes it most of the field that's been in the pit lane now. Only 6. The top 6 have not been in. Corey Stas flies through on Dan Kosick, straight through into 3rd position. This is now the fight for 2nd, of course, but I think you're right. It's all damage repair related for those 3 that came into the pit lane that time, but we've seen an unusual amount of cars pitting this race.
Yeah, but they're easily done, aren't they? Let's be real about it. Krautfeld's gone round, and Patrick Misek has been round, Hernandez has been round, Batash has been round, Diltz, Clausen, Sadler, Stas. So, you know, I'm surprised Corey Stas is still being able to run without having to go into the pit lane there, which is what he is managing to do. However, he is in a fight here with Watcho and Kosick, and AJ is losing so much time. I wonder what's happened to AJ Condon there, and why all of a sudden he lost that much time coming out the back. I didn't see anything. It might have just been on pure pace here.
But I wouldn't imagine it'd be pace. He was keeping the front of the group quite nicely earlier on, but for whatever reason now, really starting to struggle as Corey Stas goes to the outside line on the way towards Adnau Forst, and no, can't go through. Kosick just in behind, waiting and watching. Maybe they'll be waiting for later on in the lap, but which I'll be very pleased with this, to be 2nd at the moment. And, oh well, maybe less pleased with that, as Stas is now going to go through, surely. This should be pretty easy. Now I think the objective for the other 2 is going to be stay with Corey Stas, and that isn't going to be easy.
No, it's not, but they've got to stay in the draft. You can see visually here how big the draft is. AJ's 2.2 seconds back now. Mole's nearly 4 seconds back here. So you can see that being out of this 3, or out of the 5 it was at one point, has lost the guys behind a lot of time. So really, what Kosick and Watcho really want to do is not allow Stas to get outside of that draft area and try and stay with him, and not do what they're doing now and try and literally follow to keep up. Because if you let, it's 1.2 seconds already.
I think that's done. That bit of side by side is done for them as they. But we'll puff out the smoke, and there goes Warchow into a spin, and so does Condon. Goodness me, a double spin into Verstappen, and through goes David Mull into 4th place. Stas is going to be confirmed in 2nd, Kosick confirmed in 3rd, and Mull now up to 4th place ahead of Condon. Krautfeldt gets ahead of Warchow as well. Goodness me, what a bizarre turn up that was through the same corner, 2 spins.
Yeah, I'm wondering if AJ spun trying to not hit Watcho, and slamming on the brakes because obviously Watcho was in front of him. So I'm wondering whether or not AJ just kind of tried to brake that little bit harder, and unfortunately the Formula V said, no, not happening, I don't like that, and has spun him in the process. Betash here has got Benjamin Lamberton in front of him. These guys are off the pace and a little bit further down. This is for 10th and 11th, but these are the current closest battle on the circuit here.
I think this is just Lamberton getting through, and he might well be getting away afterwards in this battle. Could be wrong. Let's see. Side by side on the way towards Exmuller now as well. And Bottas just goes straight back through again into 10th position. Haven't seen him for a little while in this series, from memory anyway. Trying to find him in the standings. Hasn't been here for a couple of weeks. And so good to see him back again for the final week. Of course, always a free car on the final week, just decided half an hour before the session opens in the evening. So it does make it a bit more unique. It means that everybody effectively is going on at maximum an hour and a half of practice before this race starts, which is probably less than they would have for some of the other cars this season.
Yeah, but it's a great way of doing it, isn't it? It's like, surprise, you've got the Formula V. And you're like, oh, okay. You know, they probably would have liked a faster car, don't get me wrong, but still, the slower the car, the better the racing seems to be currently at this moment in time. And Dave Moe and AJ Condon are showing us that as they're coming up into the carousel here. And AJ does manage to hold that lead currently as everybody else comes around as well. Krautfield there with Watcho behind him. Now we've got Lamberton. They're going to be here very shortly as well. But they've got a Clausen in there. And now, of course, Clausen was involved in that lap 1 incident and has managed to battle his way onto the back of the pack, which is always good. We normally talk about pack racing in NASCAR, but it seems to be that Formula V, you need that pack racing, otherwise you end up losing bunches of time here. So we'll see how these guys can get off as well, and whether or not they're going to be going 3 wide down the Dottingham as well. But yeah, battle's starting now to pick back up again as we've got this one and one more.
Yeah, we do. And that will be it for the season. After that, as side by side into the corner they go. Clausen getting that place again. Lamberton decides to have a look at the outside. I would advise against this, but he's going for it. And then he just took in. That's what we should have seen earlier from whoever it was going side by side into this corner. Oh dear, and he just pops out at the very end. Clausen, mistake. Make sure he straightens up the wheel so that he doesn't spin in front of his 2 rivals. And remarkably, he is going to lose 2 places, but he will stay with the group.
That's the more important thing, to stay with the group, and that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to make sure that you're in this group here as well. Same for AJ Condon, Dave Moe and Dan Kosick. They've got to make sure that they're in the group. Dave Moe, Condon and Krautfeld have got to make sure with Watcho coming in the background. If Watcho can't get there, he'll be much relieved, to be honest with you. But yeah, Krautfeld, well, is proper going for it here at the moment as well, and probably not in an ideal place, to be honest.
Yeah. He's going to be watching with his heart in his mouth there. As AJ Condon gets down the inside of Mole. Follow through. He's very aggressively following through into the Stefan Belafes. And down the inside he'll go from 6th to 4th in one fell swoop. That was a good move. But he's going to be nowhere near far enough away as Alexander Betash has gone for a spin just before Brunson.
Yeah, we'll have a look back at that as well.
Oh, Condon. That might be that. Has Krautfeld got away as a result of that? Or will they still be in slipstream range? I think they're just about still going to be there, but it's going to be very close.
Yeah, it needs to be well within, try and get within under that 2nd mark if you can. But of course, you know, for Krautfeld, he's going to have nothing about now, isn't he? He's just going to be running at his top speed of about 91, 92 mile an hour. These guys should close in here. He's teetering on the edge of that 2nd mark. He's just outside the kind of draft range. And there goes AJ Condon through. Slot in front, son. Slot in front. Give us a little bit of an eye. There you go. And now he should be able to pull Mole up to Krautfeld. You can see now the time's coming down. So it is, once you're under that 2nd mark, you can sort of get some time back on the guys in front. Now, whether or not Mole and Condon will stay with him through the actual Nordschleife part of the circuit, we will find out. But at the moment, this has given him a good old push. And Mole's decided he wants to go again, going down under the bridge down into Tiergarten.
Well, he's not going to manage that because he's got no slipstream here on the way down into this section of corners. And through is going to go Condon. He's going to try and take both of them here as he goes up the inside into the Tiergarten. Rick Putnam, by the way, is in the pit lane from the lead of the race before this final lap, by the way, as Cratwell goes on the outside. This is a battle between the two. Oh, close. Cratwell, though, will hang on. And all of them come into the pit lane. So clearly it's necessary. They needed a bit of fuel in this race, I would have thought. And Putnam back out onto the circuit again, has lost some time to Cratwell because of all of his drafting or whatever, but he still holds more than 6 seconds at the head of this race.
Yep, fuel stops. It's going to be fuel because they would have only fueled for 4. So it's going to be fuel stops, isn't it? Even on a fixed setup, which is what we're on the finals round, it will only be 4 laps. That's all they'll ever get. So, yeah, there's got to be fuel stops, and everybody has pretty much been in now. Watcho's in at the same time here. Condon is still in and out. Everybody's pitted currently, so nobody should now have to pit as we're looking on Clausen and Lambert. And I do love the fact that Lambert has made his car a hot dog with mustard.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is. I've only just seen it though. I realised. Maybe I was a bit slow on that one, to be honest. Why did you put only mustard on it though? That's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not a lover of mustard. I would have rather have seen ketchup down the middle, to be honest with you.
To be honest, just plain is fine. But anyway, 10th place for Lamberton. Aside of his hot dog topping choices, he's in 10th place and doing a good job, just ahead of Thomas Clausen on the way in towards the Hatson back. And they stay single file. What's interesting to me about the top 10 now, by the way, is after all of those pit stops, they're not together anymore. So obviously I wasn't expecting Cratwell to be around anybody because of the pit stops. He made his earlier than the rest, and his early stop probably put him in a bit more traffic than he was hoping to be in. But Stas is 15 seconds ahead of Mull somehow, who's managed to find 3 seconds over Kosick and Condon. Warchow's managed to lose 6 seconds, and Dean Diltz is not that far away from any of them. So for some reason, they've all spread out astronomically in the top 10.
Well, that could have something to do with the pit lane times, to be blatantly honest. Pit stop time for Corey Stas was 6.8 seconds. For Dave Mull, it was 11. For AJ Condon, it was 15. 16 behind that, 16 and 19, all the way down with Dean Diltz. So I'm probably guessing some of them may have got more fuel than they need here. And I just want to pick up on AJ Condon and Dan Kosick as they're going literally nearly side by side here. But yeah, I think some of them have put in more fuel than they actually require.
I think so. If you take the iRacing spotter recommendations, then you will have put in more than you require, because that's what they do. They generally do a bit of a safer estimate than you would do with a human. So that will probably cost you a bit of time. But maybe Corey Stas has taken on his own calculations and gone for just 6 seconds. Maybe he's going to run out of fuel because his lane time is about half as long as anybody else. Hopefully he doesn't run out as they complete the final lap of the season. However, Evan Cratwell holds on to second place, and we've not talked about it very much, but it looks like it is going to be his 8th podium of the season. And more importantly, it's going to be his championship winning moment. We knew that he would basically have to not finish this race with Corey Stas winning and getting all the bonus points to lose the championship, and so it was a very tall order for him to lose it. However, he has done what he needed to, and his pure consistency throughout the season has been rewarded. At the end of the season, if things stay as they are, apart from his drop weeks, he will have finished on the podium every single round. Every single round that has counted towards his score has been a podium score, and there's very little he can do to overcome that.
Yeah, and he's just done an amazing job, and you know, outstanding driver of the season easily. You know, you look, he's won possibly 2 it obviously might be 3 if obviously he wins this one, but 2 races that we know of, the GR86s and the GT3s, he's been on the podium bar every single one of the GT4s and the Jettas and the Super Formula Lights. He has just been Mr. Consistent all season, and he's done a great job. Now, we can give you an insight into some of the cars for next season, as Dean Diltz has just had a bit of a moment by the looks of it, and so has Benjamin Lamberton off the side of the track, so that's gone a little bit wrong. Dean Diltz is... Well, we
can even try to find a gear, but I don't think he can at the moment. Yeah, look at him, he's just second. There we go, that's a bit better. What was going on there?
No idea on that one. It looks like he's back up and running now for Dean Diltz. AJ Condon and Dan Kosick are currently side by side as well. So we'll let this one play out, and then we'll give you an insight into some of the cars for next season.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing about that as up the hill there you go, and AJ Condon has made his way through, so either tuck in and try and catch David Mull or fight for 5th place. I wonder which they're going to decide to do.
They're going to fight.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's be honest, they're going to fight, right? Nobody in their right mind, they might, but it's 2.6 seconds and you're on the final lap. So it's all right slotting in right the way down through to the dotting a hoe, and then after that, if you don't make it, well, you might as well just give it up. David Hernandez has had another moment, bless him as well. We won't pick up too much on emphasising what Dave's done here, but he's had a bit of a rotten one, as Mr. Hernandez. If they can get the gap down to sort of 1.5 seconds by the time they get sort of in and around the carousel and things like that, which they can't clearly, as they're literally there now, then maybe not bother trying to follow each other and just go full flat and have a bit of a Barney. That's what I say down the dotting a hoe. Let's see it. We've seen 4 wide already, so why not? Let's just go for it on the final lap. Diltz and Clausen are currently side by side here. Diltz is not going to hold on to that point position. Clausen is going to manage to take that position away here once more. So there you go. Still some great racing ahead.
Certainly is. As we go over the highest point in the circuit. Why don't we talk about the cars for next season just after the race, because otherwise we're going to miss something that goes on.
That's what I was waiting for.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about that afterwards and speak about that before we go. Anyway, Condon loses the place to Dan Kosick then, and as you predicted, they have not thought about catching David Mull and working together. They have just thought about the position that's directly in front of them, and that is 5th position. And so far, Dan Kosick holds on to that for now, but not too much forward thinking going on here. Just a fight for 5th place, which is fine. Just wonder who's going to come out on top here. Who is better placed? Is it the car trailing, going on to the Tottenham for the final time, or is it the car going in front? I suspect it's the car trailing, but you never know. In a 2-car battle, they might just get stuck side by side again.
Yeah, I think it'd be better being in the back, behind, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you've obviously got to be aware of the fact that if you go too early, you're going to be at the risk of being overtaken on the way back through. So they've got to be mindful of that situation there. It looks like Messick has also just had another moment as an unfortunately jumped straight back to the pit. So we'll have a look at some of these at the end of the race. So yeah, if you go too early, just as you go through Galgenkopf and through the, down onto the dotting a hoe, if you're already alongside, you're not going to go anywhere. You're better off leaving it till about probably halfway through the dotting a hoe and then look at making your move. Probably, to be honest, the way they speed in these cars get... AJ there. Having a moment. Use the downhill section after the Bilston to try and emphasise and get a little bit more speed.
That could be the strategy. Just about at the Bilstein Bridge, by the way, is Rick Putnam. He looks like he's going to take a race win here. We'll watch him come across the line, of course, but we'll also focus in on this battle for 5th place. It's the only fight remaining in the field here, as Rick Putnam makes his way towards the end of the lap. This is 3rd pole position of the season today, by the way, which is a surprising statistic, but it would be his first win if he can just hang on into the Tiergarten for the final time. Condon moves around left and right as Mull tries to break the slipstream as if he thinks there's going to be any from 3 seconds back. And now Kosick moves to the right-hand side, right away from Condon as much as he can get so that they don't get locked side by side. Meanwhile, Rick Putnam now making his way through the final corners. 10th place in the championship coming into today. He's going to move ahead of Dean Diltz and Dave Hernandez, I think, into 8th place by the end of the season. More importantly, he's going to take his first race win and indeed his first podium of the season at the very final round, followed by the champion, Ewan Crackrode, who will score another podium. And that means that every race that counts towards his score this season has resulted in a podium finish. Meanwhile, Condon has disappeared.
They crashed.
They
Cossack and Condon have crashed on the final run down the Dottinger. They have, look, it's got no...
Oh, he's in the wall.
They've got no gearing. It's
got no front right tyre. Yeah, it's got no right tyre. And here comes Wood now. Is he going to get to the inside in time? He is. Oh, he's got it at the very final corner of the season. And Cossack misses out on a top 5. We'll get a replay of that after the race, of course. But side by side continues. This for 8th place between Clausen and Dilts. They're both late on the brakes. Oh, immediate contact. Clausen on the inside should hang on here. But it is a short run to the line from here. Round the outside goes Dilts, and he does get there. Wow, that was impressive.
That was great racing coming up through Tiergarten just for the final time with Dilts and Clausen there. Absolutely stellar job. Benjamin Lamberton has come over the line in his hot dog machine with Betash behind, and then Scott Sadler also finished off as well. Where is David Anders? He's on his all by myself moment coming down the Dottinger Hoe there for David Anders as he's just weaving around for fun on that one. But yeah, AJ Condon and Dan Cossack must have had a coming together on the Dottinger Hoe there, and that is why AJ ended up in a pool. We've got quite a lot to go through this time. Unlike some of the other races, there's quite a lot of incidents.
Yeah, unlike last week's race, which for whatever reason had very few comparatively in the Super Formula Lights. After of course, the cartwheeling at the start, there wasn't very much to go and look at on replay, but that's not the case this time. We are certainly going to have a few things to look at here as Hernandez makes his way into the final corners and will finish his season behind Rick Putnam, unfortunately. He will stay ahead of Tim Wardshow in the standings, and so I think he'll be 10th at the end of the season. Dave Hernandez, a season in which he's been at most of the rounds and hasn't, unfortunately, scored a podium quite. But here are your final results. Rick Putnam, 6.9 seconds ahead of Ewan Crackwell, the champion, who beats Corey Stas to the end. It is David Mull and Tim Wardshow running out the top 5 with Dan Cossack coming over the line with 3 wheels on his wagon. It was Jason Hightower, the final driver, within 1 minute of the winner. Dean Dilts finished 8th ahead of Thomas Clausen and Benjamin Lamberton. Alexander Betchar, Scott Stadler and Dave Hernandez, the final ones on the lead lap. AJ Condon crashed on the lead lap. Patrick Mesh didn't start the race when everybody else did. He started a lap behind the others for whatever reason. He must have thought it was a 4-lap race, not 5. Let's have a look at the final championship standings. And 21 points is the winning margin for Ewan Crackwell. Corey Stas's performance today means that he's even more secure in second ahead of Jason Hightower. David Mull couldn't quite get anywhere near that 3rd position. Matt Green wasn't here today, but drops to only 5th ahead of Dan Cossack. Rick Putnam jumps up to 7th place, so even better than I thought for him after winning that one. Just ahead of Ray Tier, who's not been here for a few weeks. Scott Sadler finished 9th, and Dave Hernandez just finished 10th in the standings. Dean Dilts misses out by a couple of points. Tim Wardshow a further 6 points back. Patrick Mace gets 13th after his performance today. Pat LaBrosse and Chase Petterjohn weren't here today, of course, but they are in the top 15 ahead of Benjamin Lamberton, who scores 39 this season. Steve Kube wasn't here today, but finishes 17th ahead of Alexander Bettas, who finishes 18th, and I think that's all of those who were here today. Oh no, excuse me, AJ Condon at 19th.
Yeah.
And that is about it for those who are here today. So, let's have a look at some replays, because there's certainly a lot to go at here.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get them if it wants to behave itself. This is the Corey Stas incident at the beginning. And this is obviously
a low spin, is it? Or it's going to happen just up ahead here, is it? For Stas.
Oh,
there he goes.
There we go. Come on, let's try and get this one. Here we go.
Towards the siphon on the brakes, and there he goes, just for a spin. Pretty similar to the one we saw a few laps later, actually, when 2 cars went round at the same time.
Yeah, this is Scott Sadler. Sadler's already been and done something there. So where did he go? Where did he get caught up? That's the question.
That's
odd.
Horrific amount of vibration. I don't think I've ever seen a wheel wobble so much.
All right, we're going to do it this way because I can't find where he actually managed to do that one. Was that
Can't
right?
be far away.
No.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
No, he's still got all of his bits. Ah, there it is.
Ah, there you go. So, straight up. That's just felt. Oh, he tried. Oh, shit. That was a hard hit in the wall.
Yeah.
And, well, we saw plenty of hard hits last week. That was another one of them in the Formula V. Just trying to correct a slide and went straight into the wall.
Yeah, this is Dean Diltz's moment. That was with...
Oh, wow.
That's how Clausen ended up on his roof.
Oh, dearie me. And I think someone just went under him to avoid. That was remarkable.
There's only one.
I'm not sure whether Dean Diltz was going to spin anyway, or whether oh, here we go, or whether he was just reacting to this. Oh,
look at that!
Goodness me!
Oh,
sickening.
There was a car underneath.
That's some sickening crashes this season, I've got to say. It's been a spectacular one for crashes.
Yeah, this is Dave Hernandez's moment. I think we saw the back end of this, didn't we?
Oh! What is going on there?
There was contact
well,
there.
We did. Well, yes. That's the simplest way to put it.
Let's see if we can get it off to Chopper here, because it might be a little bit angled. Unfortunately, the angles are not great.
So, does Hernandez hit the red car ahead?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he does. And then he brakes with the driver behind it having nowhere to go. I think that was Corey Stassi who clipped the car ahead on the way past as well. But that was Hernandez doing that all to himself, I'm afraid, and the car in front of him. That was just ran into the car ahead of him.
Yeah, that was Hernandez then trying to get back up. This has happened with Clausen. Now, obviously, this one I don't believe caused him too much damage, as he's going to run wide and go up the... manages to hold it, so well done for him. Patrick Misek had a big moment. And there's a couple of things in a row here. So he goes round first. Then he hits the wall. And unfortunately, that's the end of that.
Yep. Once he was into the race, unfortunately, have that spin. Drops turn, finishes off the lead lap, of course. This is Evan Krautwoud, who was second in the end, but he was leading at this stage before this. And that's why he came in early, because he made contact with the wall. Clearly didn't do a lot of damage, but that's effectively what lost him the race.
Well, you say about a lot of damage. If you have a look at Krautfield's wheel, I think it's his left front. Watch it come off. And then it goes back on again. If you have a look now, the one closest to the camera, bang, wobbles, pops back on.
No, yeah, true. But then when you went on board again there didn't seem to be any suspension damage at all.
No, there was nothing. The car's fine. So I'm not entirely sure, the wonderful damage physics that we deal with. This is Watcho and AJ. This is when they both spun together.
Yeah. Is it one after the other or one caused by the other? I think it's just two people making the same mistake twice. I don't think AJ was reacting at all to that, because he couldn't actually see that Watcho had gone around in a spin when he had started to spin.
Yeah. This was Betash's final one, I think. Oh, he's already going, isn't he?
Oh, and is that Clausen who just had to avoid behind?
Yeah.
Very close to contact. Betash eventually sealed 11th with that. Oh dear.
That's it.
Dave Hernandez. Well.
Okay, we might have to go back on that, unfortunately. How did he end up there? Did he pop out of the carousel? Or Klein's carousel?
A bit too quick through the carousel.
Yeah, I think he kind of anticipated a lot more there. This is now getting on to the final lap of the race. This is Dean Diltz. For some reason, it's shown up that he's... there we go. He did
almost exactly the same mistake he made on lap 1.
Yes.
But...
he managed to...
But just on the final lap instead. So that's slightly odd. Benjamin Lamberton into Verstappen. That's already the wrong line. And you could see that happening from a mile away. Oh, well avoided. Just about got himself out of the wall. I'm especially looking forward to this final replay, by the way, on the back straight. Can't wait to see what happened between in that battle for 5th place. Here's Dave Hernandez. Very nearly saved it, but not quite.
It is Patrick Misek's. This must be his final foray into the world of the incidents here.
What's going on here?
I have no idea.
Oh dear, where is he going?
I don't know if he's got a disconnect there. Maybe I've given him a little bit more props and something might have happened. Or did he just get distracted? No, he's just... There's an error there. There's
unless his TV's turned off. I don't really know what he's doing there. But anyway, that's that.
And you ready for it then?
What was it? Okay. How did they crashed on the straight then? Dan Cosick and AJ Condon. So AJ gets into the slipstream again here. And he's just hit him.
Yeah, he's just too close. Oh dear. He's literally too close, look. And then just pushes it round.
Oh, God. And consequence is disastrous for Condon. Oh, no, he's gone up into the air as well. Oh, he's cartwheeling as well. The second car on its roof today and the third car on its roof in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's careless, really. It's careless driving, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if he tried to bump draft him along there or what, but that's what it looks like on a vertical on that one. So, yeah, and obviously with Dan Cosick, this is the damage at the end, and which we did see. He's got nothing. You see his rights on the floor. He can't turn the car at all, but we will watch Tim Watcho's moment as he come and stormed past him there going into the final corner. So there is Tim. Coming into the final corner, dives up the inside of an injured Cosick, and through he goes. And that, my dear sir, is all of them for today.
Yeah, so all that's left to do now is say thanks very much for watching this season of the Tower Racing Ring Runners. Of course, we will be returning for Season 4 of 2024. And yes, I was just about to hand to you before we go to tell us about the cars that, if we're allowed, I'm not sure if we've got clearance for this.
No, I've been given clearance. Yeah, Dave's got hold of me and he said you can talk about it.
Okay, well, fire away. What have we got coming up next season?
So the first one we're going to have FF 1600s. Now all the layouts are to be determined. Okay, so the FF 1600 will open us off, and on the 11th of September there's going to be no rain there. So just to let you know on that one. Then we got the Audi 90 GTO. On the 18th of September, the weather's going to be clear. So and into the night. So that's going to be a sunset start and into the night. GT4s will be under the Tempest system, so that could possibly be rain. The F4 again under the Tempest system will be rain. LMP2, now I'm looking forward to that one. Late afternoon, clear weather, but into the night as well. Then we've got the mini stocks kicking off at noon, and it will be clear on that one. Now the Champ Week that me and you had a chat about is the fact that Evan Krautfield hasn't picked the car, obviously, as of yet, for his pick on the 23rd of October. Now, we're going to have, after that, we're going to go to the TCRs. That is under the Tempest system as well, and we know that TCRs are going to get rain next season, so we could have that one. Pro Mazdas is going to be clear, and that will be on the 6th of November. ARCA, oh man, the ARCA series will be at noon, and that will be clear as well. And then we're bringing in the P Cup, so that's going to be an exciting one on the 20th of November. That will be under the Tempest system as well. 27th of November will be the SR8s back again, and then of course the 4th of December will be the Duck Week. So a lot of interesting cars, a couple that are obviously here this season, but I think you've got to look at the fact that we're going to have the LMP2, the F4s, the Audi 90s, the mini stock, and obviously the P Cups coming in this season.
What I'm looking forward to most is probably TCR if we get a bit of rain, or maybe the Audi 90 should be pretty decent. So look forward to all of them. It's a great series, and lots of different cars, different ways of going around this circuit, and plenty of great racing to be had, as we have had already in Season 3 of 2024. So now all that's left to say is indeed thanks very much for watching this season of the Tower Racing Ring Runners. 11 great rounds brought to you here on the JPB YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe for all the other racing that goes on throughout the week, and indeed for the next season of this as well. But for now, from myself, Ewan and Judge Parfitt, until we see you next season for Season 4 in 2024, it's goodbye for now.